Hello beautiful people and welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I'm talking about how to market your small business. My name is Tanisa Maya and I talk all things relating to business, making money and the family life. If you are new to my channel, thank you so much for coming through. Please consider subscribing and switching that notification bell. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for your continued support. It is truly appreciated. Now, this is a matter that a lot of small businesses struggle with. The marketing element of their businesses is really a challenge. And this is why I decided to make this video, just to give you an idea of some ways which you can be able to actually implement and improve your marketing around your small business. All right, let's get right into it. First things first, I want to actually invite you to the notion of understanding that it all begins with a marketing strategy or a marketing plan. If you want to be effective in your small business when it comes to marketing, you are not going to succeed if you do not have a marketing strategy or a marketing plan. That is the departure point, and that is where you need to start. If you ignore the need to have a marketing strategy or a marketing plan, whatever it is that you do is not going to yield any results, and you're going to feel like you're all over the place and you're not going to be able to see the improvement that you'd like to see within your business. You're going to get tired and you're going to get burnt out because you're going to know that you are doing something, but it is not working because you are working from a perspective of not actually having a marketing strategy or a marketing plan. So number one, develop a marketing strategy or a marketing plan for your business so that you can be able to ensure that your marketing efforts succeed. And when I talk about this marketing plan, I'm basically talking about a document that is actually going to entail how you are going to reach a specific target market and how you are going to convert that market into customers. That's basically what a marketing plan and marketing strategy is all about. Being able to know how you're going to reach a certain market and being able to know how you're going to then convert that market into buying customers. As I proceed, another question that is critical that in the small business ecosystem is asked a lot is, when should I then start to have this marketing strategy? When should I develop this marketing strategy? And the answer there is very clear at the beginning of your business. When you are planning your business, make sure that you actually plan out how you're going to do the marketing for the business in the form of building a marketing strategy or a marketing plan for your business. Now, one is going to ask me, okay, so how do I develop this marketing strategy or this marketing plan? I'm going to give you a couple of steps throughout this video that are going to help you to start the process of building your own marketing strategy or marketing plan, right? Number one, it actually begins with setting clear goals and objectives. Marketing efforts respond to many different marketing objectives or goals that you want to achieve for the business, right? You could actually be doing marketing efforts to ensure that you achieve a goal that looks like wanting brand awareness or brand recognition. So this is you saying, I want people to know about my business. It's not going to be the same as when you have a goal of actually increasing sales. You want to increase the number of sales in your business to 500 sales every single day. I'm making an example. The other one could be you want to actually acquire new customers. So that is basically new customer acquisition. That's the goal that you want to achieve, which is you do have a database or a pool of existing customers, but your strategy now is around wanting to increase new customers. So, and there's so many things that I could talk around the space of what goals and objectives you could be wanting to achieve when it comes to creating your own marketing strategy or marketing plan. But the process begins with you being able to clearly define that goal. So with the marketing efforts and that you want to achieve, with the marketing strategy or plan that you're going to be executing, what goals do you want to achieve? What objectives do you want to achieve? Make them very smart. They need to be measurable. You need to put timelines. You need to make sure that they are very specific. You need to make sure that they are realistic. So this is to help you to understand that at the end of executing these marketing strategies and advertising efforts, you are at the end of the day able to see if there was any improvement. If you don't identify what your goals and objectives are around your marketing, then you're not going to be able to know whether you are achieving them, overachieving them, underachieving them. You cannot benchmark the performance. So it's very important that you start at the position that says, okay, what goals and objectives do I actually want to achieve by actually having this marketing strategy, this marketing plan? Number 2, know your product or service. I know this could be, this would come across as funny. Like, I do know my product, I do know my service, but do you really know it? I'm talking, do you know the features? Do you know the dynamics around the product? Do you know the benefits? Do you know the uses? Like, do you understand your own product or your service? A lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of small businesses do not spend enough time in this space unpacking and understanding the product or the service that they offer. This is a very important element within marketing because your efforts, your marketing efforts are going to be directly influenced by your knowledge of the product. And the information that you bring out of you unpacking the product or the service is actually going to be very critical in your development of your marketing strategy because it's going to influence how you design your actual marketing plan. The decisions that you make, why should you use this? Why shouldn't you use the other? Why should you use this strategy and not the other, this advertising approach or methodology and not the other? It is going to be influenced by your understanding of your product or service in terms of everything that the product or the service encompasses. You need to be very clear with that. Another important one is to then research competition. I always say this all the time. You are not going to be really innovative. You are most probably, as a small business, getting into a market that already exists, and you are just going there to take a percentage of the market share, right? Which means there are already people that are in the space providing the service or the product that you want to provide, right? And they've been in the space for quite a while, and that means there's something that they've learned. You do not have to re-engineer the whole process. You don't have to recreate the whole process. You need to just understand a couple of things with how they relate with their customers, who they're targeting, how they do their own marketing and advertising. You want to study that information. It's going to, number one, educate you. It's going to, secondly, empower you. It's going to actually show you gaps that you can actually capitalize on as you are building your own marketing strategy. So how do your competitors market their products or their services to the customers? Are you guys targeting the same people? What's the difference? What can make you different and stand out within the business? It's very important that you spend time, that you analyze your competitors so that you can use that information to influence and to bring in the strengths of that information within your marketing strategy or your marketing plan. The next thing that I'm going to now get into is for you to spend time deciding, defining, fine-tuning your target customer. Because if there is a mismatch between your target customer and your marketing strategy and advertising methodologies, then there's not going to be a common ground, and it's not going to yield benefit to your business. Okay, it's not going to be effective because you guys are going to be like this. The other one is going this way. The other one is going this way. And what you want to achieve by rolling out your marketing strategy is this. Between you and your customers. So you need to sit down and define who your target customers are, who you're going to be approaching with your product or your service, who you want to focus on. Make sure that you niche down. I know some people teach that you should be all over the place. I don't teach that. I teach that you need to have a specific focus. You can diversify, but for starters, have a focus. And when you're diversifying, you're actually going to create a second focus and a third focus, maybe focusing on different customer segments or different areas within the market. But when you're starting out, just focus on one niche, specific target audience or target customers. And when you know who these are, you will then be able to understand what kind of marketing works and resonates with them. What kind of marketing is able to grab their attention? What kind of marketing causes them to convert to become customers? And that is what you're looking for. If you forget this part, you will do your entire marketing strategy or your marketing plan. And at the end of the day, when you implement it, you're going to feel frustrated because you're not going to see results because the people that you are targeting, and in fact, you don't know who you're targeting because you don't know who you're targeting. And that is not correct. The next area that I'm going to touch on is you need to decide on a budget. Now, when I'm saying decide on a budget, I mean you also need to decide if you will not be using a budget, all right? Because some people, and this is very, I think this is very sad actually, because a lot of small businesses and big businesses actually take marketing lightly. Like, they actually take marketing lightly. Whenever there is pressure on the business, the first department that's going to be cut or that's going to have like reductions in budget is the marketing department, which actually never really makes sense to me, because I believe that in order for the business to keep afloat and to grow, you need to intensify marketing so that you are actually getting more customers. But for some reason, I think it's seen as a luxury. I don't know why or how, but I do not believe that it is. I believe that it is one of the most important components of a business, and that actually contributes to the success of a business. So I think it's important that you sit down with yourself and then decide your budget. I'm not saying that you cannot do marketing without money, because I'm able to do that. Like, you can actually market your business without much money, without like little money, using different methodologies. But the truth is, if you put money behind your marketing efforts and your marketing strategies, your marketing plans, you are actually going to be reaping better results than someone who is deciding not to put anything. So I'm trying to say, even if you say you're going to budget 200 Rand, you're going to budget 500 Rand, you're going to budget 50,000 Rand, depending on what you can afford. But this area needs to be structured and clear when you are rolling out your marketing plan, that I have a budget of 1,000 Rand, and that is how much I'm going to be spending on this marketing, on the marketing efforts of my business, and I am not going to go beyond that. I think it also influences a lot of decisions that you can make around then how to position yourself, your business, your brand, your product, your service in front of the market when you know how much you can spend. Because for an example, if you've got a big budget, then you know you can actually do a lot of marketing and advertising using TV, using radio, using like your traditional kind of routes, but newspapers, things like that, because those are very expensive, but they are effective. But if you don't have much money, then you know, okay, you'll use things like search engine optimization, websites, social media, because they are much more affordable than your traditional means of marketing. The next thing that you now need to decide is where you are going to sell. Where are you going to sell your product or service? Where are you going to sell your product or your service? Within your marketing strategy or plan, this part needs to be reflected with distinction. Where are you going to be selling your product or your service? Now, there are so many different methods and ways and places where you can be able to sell your product or your service. Let me mention a few. You could decide to go the e-commerce route. You could decide to build like a website. You could decide to do brick and mortar. You could decide to sell on social media. I know I have not exhausted all the different areas, but you need to sit down with yourself, considering all the dynamics that you have looked into before, like where your market is, who your target market is, the budget that you have allocated for the business, things like that. It will actually also give you an understanding of where you can actually sell your product or your service. Now, we need to now get into advertising methodologies. There are so many different advertising methodologies. Actually, currently I am actually working on one for my own business, where I am actually building a strategy where I will buy people airtime for them to post a designed still poster on their status, WhatsApp status. So I'm working on that kind of an advertising model where I know certain people who have got certain audiences, I'm actually going to be requesting them. This is more as part of my oikos, like my surrounding people that I know, I'm going to be asking them, I'm buying them certain amount of airtime every month or data. I'm still, working on that plan, and then requesting them to post a still poster on their WhatsApp statuses for X amount of a period. Like if I say a week or 2 weeks, every single day, obviously I would need to monitor that. And I know there's a danger there, because they could actually convince me that they are posting while they do those tricky things with WhatsApp where they hide, who do they hide? They hide everyone else. And I'm the only one who's able to see the status, and I'm thinking that everyone is seeing the status. But I think in that one, you need to choose people that you trust, people that you can actually work with, you've worked with before, you have a relationship with, because it's an advertising methodology that it just came to me, and I think it could be literally very much effective. So advertising methodologies, you need to now come up with advertising methodologies. Advertising methodologies are so many that you could be able to use out here. Let me mention a few. You could use content marketing, you could use event marketing, you could use email marketing. You could use social selling. There is just a lot. You could use social selling. There is just a lot that you could do around advertising methodologies. There's a lot that you could do in that space. But can I tell you something? If you're a small business, and I am talking to small businesses here, your best friend is social media marketing through content. You fuse social media with content marketing. So basically, you're using a social selling type of approach where you are fusing content creation and content marketing with social media. Okay, so basically you're going to create content that resonates with your target customers, and then you're going to hold it on social media and drive traffic to that content. Social media algorithms actually work to push a lot of content out for you as long as you create it in a you create it properly. Good quality, engaging content, shareable content. So it has to address or talk to pain points of the people that you are targeting. What are their pains? And the content needs to touch on those pains. You can create the content to be entertaining, to be funny, to be educational, to be controversial. I don't like that one. But controversy is very tricky. It's very, very tricky, but it's effective. The minute there is controversy around your space, you are going to get you're going to find effectiveness. I was actually watching the whole debacle between Urihana and Mihlalinda Mase. I forgot her name. Okay, it's Mihlalinda Mase. You know what? That is a large controversy. But guess what? Mihlalinda Mase's brand now is getting a lot of attention from the international community. It's bad attention, but is it really bad attention? Because now who might be thinking of infiltrating the African market and might not necessarily be friends with Rihanna brand actually might work with Mihlalinda Mase. So it's like with controversy, there is a lot of mileage that you could get, but it's so risky because it might work against you. But even when it does work against you, it might still be working against you for you. So, but I'm just passing there. What I'm trying to say is that that's also another type of content that you could create, controversial content that would actually, make you relevant, make your brand be seen. So the kind of content could be funny, could be entertaining, could be controversial, could be educational, could be whatever. You just need to choose the kind of content that you're going to be producing and putting out, and then holding that content on social media platforms. And if you ask me right now, TikTok is number one. TikTok is number one. Okay? Currently. But as you are using TikTok, don't forget your other platforms like Facebook and Instagram are really good as well. If you have Isbindi, if you have the courage and you're brave, you can also do Twitter. So these are all different advertising, methodologies that you could roll out within your marketing strategy or marketing plan. The next thing that I want to touch on is creating a marketing calendar. A marketing calendar is very much important, where after you've designed the whole plan, now you create a marketing calendar. Within the calendar, this is what you want to be reflected. It doesn't really matter how you design it, but these are the important things to reflect there. The actions that need to be undertaken, the persons responsible for those actions, what you want to achieve, and the timelines. Four critical, very important areas within your marketing calendar, because you do not want to be creating a marketing strategy or marketing plan that you will never implement, or that continues forever and you don't know when to start and when to track progress and things like that. And lastly, you need to then start implementing the marketing plan or the marketing strategy. Key things to keep here: implement, review, monitor, evaluate, adjust, and improve. Those are important things within your implementation stage of developing your marketing strategy or your marketing plan. Now, guys, before I wrap it up, remember, without having this kind of a plan, it's going to be very difficult for you to actually have effective marketing and see results within your business. Things like attracting customers, things like increasing your sales, things like putting your brand out there. You are not going to be able to achieve those without having this marketing plan or marketing strategy. And if you want me to actually assist you one-on-one, you can book a consultation by email. it's really easy, and I can be able to walk you through how to develop your own marketing strategy or marketing plan. That's all from me for today. But before I go, please make sure that you consider subscribing. And thank you so much for those who are returning subscribers. I really, really appreciate the support. Also consider switching on the notification bell so that you are kept abreast of when we put out new content. Otherwise, that's all from me for today. Until next time, stay absolutely blessed.